A very big shout out to Bill Must, who helped me with this beautiful, beautiful background. I have been very, very fortunate in my life, and I traveled around the world, and I've been to more than 200 countries. Many of you have heard my story, but very briefly, I just want to tell you where I come from and my excitement about being part of Onpassive. For 20 years, I worked on cruise ships. So I had the opportunity of literally traveling and going into countries week after week, up to 11 months a year, every single year for those 20 years. Meeting people and breaking bread with them, learning to say hello and thank you, shopping, I'm an expert at that, but doing things and eating with them and having fun with them, in addition to learning the historical, cultural, and other beauties of their country and of the people, were the highlights of my life. And that is what I took back on board when I did my tour talks. Of course, I could talk about the history. Of course, I could talk about the aspects of what they were going to see. But there were other historian lecturers on board, and they handled that much, much better than I did. I wanted to work with the people, and I wanted the people from around the world who were on the cruise ship with me, some of them having waited a long time to take that cruise to that part of the world. I wanted them to know what the people were like. And I was so fortunate because I built up wonderful relationships with them, and I learned a tremendous amount from the different people in the different countries. So when Onpassive came to me, when I dreamed it up and when it was brought to me, and I was told that it would be in more than 200 countries with more than 100 languages, this was something that I could truly get excited about. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be part of something that was global. I wanted to be part of something that was uniting people, not separating them, not breaking them into little pieces and little corners of the world. There's enough that goes on out there. History, politics, anger, jealousy, misunderstandings, religion, color. I'm hitting on all of this tonight, and I asked these gentlemen to be part of this with me, because whenever I heard things when I was on the cruise ship, I would hit it and hit the nail on the head in my next tour talk. And this week has been a very, very emotional one for me, a huge roller coaster in terms of emotions, in terms of what I've been hearing, the messages I've been getting from people who've been misunderstood, from people who have fallen out with each other, from people who have had arguments. And I feel that we're better than this. We are at a point right now that we have waited for, and we have been so excited to get to in Onpassive. Don't spoil it now. I don't care if it's full moon energies. I don't care if it's Mercury retrograde that's causing problems. We can be kind to each other. Tolerance is something that's very, very important. We might not like each other, and heaven knows there are quite a few founders who do not like me. And there are a couple that maybe I don't like so much. But you know what? I don't have to be mean to them. There is no reason to be rude and horrible to somebody else. It happens in the big world. Onpassive should be the shining star, the shining example of what we can do and how we can do things differently. This was all part of what Ash's vision, goals and hopes were for the world and for the people in the world. I remember one of his calls when he talked about wanting to have 1 million Mother Teresas and helping people in that regard. Well, you can't do that if you're all fighting each other. So Bill helped me with this picture of bringing people together, all colors, all nationalities, all religions, in all the corners and circles of the world. That's Onpassive. That's my Onpassive. And I hope you will join me in being part and representative of what I really, really hope Onpassive is going to be to the rest of the world. Assume the best in people. Why do we have to be what everybody else has been? Why can we not try a different way? We don't always have to think the worst of somebody. Give them a chance, and let's see what happens. It may surprise you, and it may not, but we can Be there to think the best of somebody. Don't automatically think the worst. Multicultural respect. We are from so many different countries, 1.2 million founders. I look forward to going back and traveling as soon as I can, when the apples and the zucchinis now start filling the baskets of my O-wallet. And I look forward to finding that chubby little unicorn dancing around the different countries and the different ports of call that I'm going to go and visit again. But I want to be able to do this with the same respect and beauty of what I remember from before, and help to make this a better place again, to make this world a more beautiful, peaceful, gentle, polite, kind, and happy world. That's what Onpassive is all about, with the different platforms, Oh Bless, Academy, helping people to understand and learn about each other. We are the representatives as founders of this company, and we're going to be the ones that people are going to turn to. And we are all leaders, whether you are on the panel right now, joining the panel later, hearing my voice in the recordings, out there on the, oh dear, I hope I get this right, the live streams, or anywhere else out there in the world when it's being repeated. We are all founders. We are all the same. We all paid $97 US to get into this. We all cry salty tears, and we all have red blood. So please, let's remember this. Be kind, be gentle. And if by some chance there is a misunderstanding or there are accusations that fly, and somebody finds out that they are wrong, step up and have the courage to go back and own it, address it, and apologize. We don't need to have more wars. There's one on the brink right now. There are a couple of others that are brewing elsewhere. We don't want this in our world. We don't need the wars. We don't need the hatred anymore. Haven't we learned anything from the history of our world and our planet, of what we have lived to date? So please, let's work together. Let's join hands, like this picture is, and learn to respect each other. Learn about the other person. Go to different webinars. And I did ask you at the end of last week if some of you would go and visit other webinars, other countries, other cultures, other languages. You may not understand it, but you understand the passion, the feeling of what you are hearing. And I'll tell you this, English is the universal language. Everybody wants to speak English. So if you go on as a founder from another country into a language that you do not speak or understand, the mere fact that you are there is showing them respect, and they in turn will respect you and immediately turn to English, or have somebody help and translate what you are saying so they can understand, and in turn respond to you in English. So that's me getting off my soapbox. Bill, I thank you for this magnificent background. Anybody can use this. It's not proprietary. It's with much love that we put it together.